our budget and align revenue and expenses in a way that creates a secure future. We have to balance our budget here at this institution. In other words, there are things that need to be done. They have not gone unnoticed. In my 7.5 weeks here, these things have come to my attention, and because of the detailed work done by the Board of Trustees prior to my arrival, I have a pretty good snapshot in a short period of time of some of our needs. Let me take a few moments before I conclude to talk about how we're going to begin pursuing that. You can call this an evolving vision, an initial take at where we must go, but let me share with you a few things that I think would be aspirationally possible if I do my job and we as a team collectively support the direction of Howard University. First, I'd like to see Howard University as one of the top 50 research universities in the United States. Top 50 research universities in the United States. And unique in its research position among all HBCUs. We need more dollars. We have more areas in research that we can cover and deliver on than our competitive institutions. We have the health sciences. We have a number of disciplines where we can make a mark, and we need to be a top 50 research university as we go forward. Why is that? If you don't achieve for excellence, you can end up resting in mediocrity. You must aspire for the best. There's an elite group of universities called AAU universities, the top 50 research universities in the country. You can't apply, you have to be invited. But I'd like to position us in the next 10 years to be invited by the AAU, along with universities like Yale and Harvard and NYU and the University of Michigan and the University of Illinois, to be AAU universities. Much work to be done, but we can do it. Okay? We can do it. There are criteria for the invitation before it's extended, but we will be talking about that, working with the colleges and the schools, and working with faculty and staff to figure out how do we begin positioning ourselves for this. And it won't happen overnight. So that's one. Top 50 research universities. We need to take advantage of our location in Congress's backyard and be recognized for our critical role in D.C. area in health, education, and public policy. We're right here in the center of activity for our government, and we need to take advantage of that and avail ourselves to those resources. The think tanks, the foundation, the government agencies, all those other areas. We need to be the primary source of institutional role modeling and support for other HBCUs. We should be leading other HBCUs. We should be creating models of effectiveness and efficiency for all other HBCUs. And why is that? Because Howard, in our best, we have a limited footprint. But if we can multiply that by 100 other HBCUs who are doing things and emulating the model of Howard University, look at the lives we could change. So we must be a leader among our peers in that area. We must provide an important national connection and channel for educational and government interaction with countries throughout the world. We need to be an international university. We need to make sure that we educate students to participate in an international world. We need to have students and faculty members studying and teaching and researching abroad. We need to be leaders in international education. At one time, we had a much more pronounced presence in the international arena. But if you look at the data now, student participation, international affiliations or agreements, those numbers are declining. And we must be active in the international world. Why is that, Sidney? Well, it's because the world is no longer defined by the parameters of the district or the boundaries of the United States. Look at who's bailing out America economically in this financial crisis. It's China, it's India, it's Europe, okay? That's where the capital is flowing from. So we live in an international world. We need to be international players. Our students need to be able to move comfortably and effectively in an international world, an international business environment. Our faculty need to be bringing insights from the international arena back to the classroom and into their laboratories and into their research to have a robust explanation of the phenomena that's defining the business world and the worlds of arts and sciences and medicine. As my mom used to always say, Sidney, you can't think with information you don't have. Read. That was her mantra to me. You need to read. Because I said, well, Mom, I don't know about that. She said, well, read a book. You might find out about it. So you can't know what you're not exposed to. So we need to have our faculty and our staff and our students immersed in the reality of a changing world. I have colleagues at institutions where I've been previously who are loading huge files of research with people in Switzerland and Southern Africa and the Caribbean, because that's the nature of the world we live in. And if the intellect can't be free, if the intellect can't roam without boundaries, then what does that say about the horizon of creativity and innovation for the future? The reason that America is in a position in terms of dominance internationally and economically is not because Americans are inherently or genetically better than anybody else, but we found a way to create universities who have become think tanks for innovation and the creation of new ways of thinking and new technologies that led to the technology revolution in America, led to insights in teaching and learning, in the biomedical sciences, expressive forms in the arts that have changed how we think and feel about ourselves and our own personal identities. So our universities need to be the foundation of that. We need to be the intellectual mecca for the world, and Howard can do that. A couple other things and I'll conclude. Howard will be known for its service orientation and focus on student development throughout the entire United States. When people say Howard, they will say students first. When they say Howard, they'll say the students that I hire, Dick Parsons, that work at Time Warner, that come from Howard, have been developed to have not only professional expertise in accounting, but the heart and character to make a difference in your organization and the world. Holistic student development. Howard will provide financial assistance to all students qualified to attend. Howard will develop and maintain facilities comparable to the quality of our students and consistent with our aspirations for excellence. Let me say that one more time. Howard will develop and maintain facilities comparable to the quality of our students and consistent with the aspiration for excellence that we must pursue. Just parenthetically and real quickly, and I'm rushing to a close here, I visited a building my second week here on campus, and it was because of the request of student leadership here on campus. Kellen and Nick and Victoria asked me to come and talk about some things, and one of the things they said were some of the facilities. So, and Marcus, who was a former undergrad student body president, and so they were telling me about this facility that was awful, and it was a facility often used by students. And so we were having lunch. I said, "Let's stop. Go show it to me. Let's stop right now. Put things down. Let's go see it." So we went to see it, and I walked into the facility, and I was appalled, first of all. And then I was embarrassed. That was my second reaction. Because I would not want my daughter, who's a senior in high school, attending a university where this was a space provided for her social and leisure activity. We can do better. We can do better, and we will do better. I'd say in conclusion that that's just a cursory summary of the discussions we'll be having with the faculty and the staff in this ensuing year and years to come. It's by no means formally finished or formally developed in the detail that it will be developed. But we are on a direction that will lead us to further achievement and greater excellence. I can say without any reservation that, and I say this often after 14-hour days and the normal life, unexpected circumstances that challenge you, that the spirit of Howard has brought me and my family here today. There were other places we could have been, but there was a calling. And the same calling that was responded to by Governor Wilder and many of the other people that are here today at a later stage of my life called to us. If you would have asked me a year ago if I would be in Washington, D.C. and would have the privilege to lead Howard University, I would say that's not possible. But the spirit of Howard, too, called to me and my wife and my daughter and my son. And that's why we're here today. If you listen to the spirit, as characterized by the people that I mentioned who are leaders and the young aspiring